DAE constantly leave their tea/coffee to cool down then forget it until it's far too cold? I masochistically drink piping hot coffee because I don't deserve to gently blow across the top. I enjoy cold coffee. Matter of fact, yesterday's leftover goes in a travel mug that sits on my nightstand so I don't have to walk downstairs for coffee. I used to do that a lot. Now I have an Arctic brand water bottle in quat. I make my coffee just a little stronger and add a little ice to cool it down to a good drinking temperature. Then the Arctic bottle keeps it at that temp for hours. I do this shit with my coffee, then just say fuck it and make it iced. What I found helped was putting a milk carton in it. I use chocolate too, just for a little extra flavor, and it usually gets to the exact right temp. Always. Because I usually prefer it to be warm, not hot, and then I just forget about it. But someone gifted me an Ember mug last year and I use it at the office. With the temperature dialed down from 135 to 125 degrees. And it's just right for me. Except when I'm about 3/4 of the way through. It kinda overcompensates and gets a little scorchy. If I'm drinking coffee, with chocolate in, I put in enough milk to cool it to a suitable drinking temp. If I'm drinking tea, fruit teas, specifically, that other shit is too bitter for my taste. I'll put cold water in at about the same ratio and milk to coffee after steeping. Perfect and immediately drinkable every time. I bought an insulated mug, short with a handle shaped like a normal mug. Not cup holder friendly, for my daily coffee. I didn't like the regular travel mugs for some reason, it didn't feel like the same effect. It has done wonders for me. It was like $8 at TJ Maxx. Would highly recommend. Keeps it hot for like 2 to 3 hours. Women who consider themselves to be unlovable and quat. How did you make peace with that? I stopped interacting and curled in on myself. But then I started playing a game I loved again and got randomly invited to a guild and ended up finding my people. After some missteps. Now I am trying to internalize that I am worthy of love and affection. That I can let people help me. And that I don't need to be useful for people to want me around. It's a lot. And it's not a smooth process. I backslide a lot. I'm lucky that I found friends that won't let go of me just because I'm having trouble holding on to them. I didn't even realize that's how I thought of myself until I went to therapy. I was like, doesn't everyone feel this way? Isn't all love merely fleeting and conditional? And as I'm not a perfect person, I'm not worthy of love? I guess I'm lucky I had that revelation in therapy because it gave me the space to unpack that and realize that wasn't a healthy way to live. I didn't make my peace with it. I acknowledged it was having this negative effect on my life and relationships. I recognized what had led me to feel this way, in my case, abusive parents. Recognized that it didn't make any sense and I started healing. I am lucky enough to have family who love me and friends that have stood the test of time. However, I have no preparation whatsoever for a healthy partnership. The only partnerships I ever saw growing up were fierce and bitter power struggles with lots of fighting and negativity. I am lucky enough to have married friends who are happy together and I can watch them interact. But I don't think I'm able to give a partner of my own what they would need. Fortunately, I'm pretty happy as I am. When I think of myself as unlovable, it's not because I'm a bad person. It's because I still have too much to learn and too much baggage to be a good partner to anyone else. What should society denormalize? The whole fat positivity trend. Luckily I don't have to deal with it much in life since I'm no longer in university and block all users in it online. But it brainwashes children to think it's okay to have extremely high body fat and life will be good fat. I'm happy I lost the 140 pounds and I can speak firsthand on how much better life is. I hate being shamed for losing the weight, but know it's coming from someone with negative feelings, seeing as life is easier without tons of excess fat covering my body. Making fun of someone for being single. I've never been in a relationship or a date. But I know I've never hurt anyone. Unless someone had feelings for me, which I doubt. Seeing my parents' toxic marriage made me realize that relationships can really fuck up your life. Same applies with my dad's dad and my grandmother. Be glad some of us fucked up people are choosing not to pass on generational trauma. Bragging about or encouraging working 40+ hours a week. Edit, I meant working odd, but in terms of denormalize I'd also include the 40 hours work week. Someone just came up with 40 to 50 hours and it's ridiculous. It's a time suck to be stuck at work for clock filling sake when you've already completed a reasonable amount of work. Incivility and intolerance of people with different views and from different walks of life. Media sensationalizing everything just to make a buck regardless of the damage they do to society. Deforestation and destruction of wildlife habitat for profit. Government corrupted by lobbying. Crony capitalism. Cutting deals. The general population being farmed by corporations. Corporate ownership of news media. Corporate monopolies. Consumerism. Celebrating money over substance. The military-industrial complex. What's something that was popular in the 90s that you don't really see now? Kids playing outside every day until the street lights come on and parents yelling for their kids to come home. The really big satellite dishes. My uncle had one that looked like it should be able to flag missiles from his yard. The worst fad had to be those WWJD bracelets and strap bands. Read the KJV Bible. Jesus was strictly against fashion and appealing to the world. Just a really stupid fad that didn't go away fast enough. Using the tones from the number pad to emulate theme songs. For example, 224,562 on the old phone sounded like the Go Go Power Rangers, part of the Power Ranger theme song from that time. Those sleeves of individual ice cream cups with the latest Disney movie release characters in hard candy form in them. Harder than diamonds. They had the wooden sticks as spoons and quad. Video rental stores. Something about browsing for a movie by just looking at the box was way more fun than browsing Netflix. Sometimes a bizarre random movie you never heard of would catch your eye from across the room, which just doesn't happen with streaming. Live-action kids, preschool, TV shows. Especially ones that feature puppets. There were so many in the 90s when I was growing up. And I loved them. The only one I can think of that is still running is Sesame Street. It honestly seems like 99% of current shows made for preschoolers are computer animated. Pogs. Pogs were everywhere. Then they gave us the ability to make our own unique Pogs. Schools were hotbeds for massive Pog production and distribution. All the way up to the high schools and possibly colleges. Then just like Furbies, Beanie Babies, and rollerblades, they were forgotten. Also forgot to add Nerf guns.